Good morning. Happy Thursday to everybody. Or Friday or Wednesday, whatever the day is. There will be no live show, no conference call this week. Most likely next week we will be back with another conference call. There's a poll up right now in the group, Justice for David Crowley and Family. So if you'd like to vote on what you think we should cover, we'll pick the most voted upon topics, and we're going to try to limit it to 2 hours. 2 hours is going to be our goal here. So we'll see how well we do. We're also working on, obviously, Christian Coffins is working on the docu-series, which is like a documentary series. And I think he wants to use my book as kind of a, I guess like a bullet point timeline, which I like. We're going to do the same thing with the Gray Stage podcast that's going to be coming out soon. Hope to have that up and running through Anchor.fm, which will hopefully get us onto Spotify and iTunes and who knows what else. So we'll see how all of that goes. All the tests that I've been doing have worked out very, very well. It's just all a matter of time there. So those are the three big things that we have coming up. And still taking some volunteers if anybody wants to kind of help find some clips. We need some clips of not only my past shows and everything that is on my channel, but I'd like to get some clips from David Crowley. So if there's anyone out there who wants to help pull some David Crowley clips, all you need to do is send me the link to the actual video, and if you can include a timestamp, that would help out a lot, because then all I have to do is I know where to go and look for that clip, cut that clip, chop it up, and we can use it either in the podcast or in the docu-series. So if anybody can do that, that would be very helpful. You can send me those clips or send me that. If you want to know more, send me an email to mbstalkradio@gmail.com. So I'm really excited about those three things that are coming up. And hopefully for the book should have a worldwide distribution on my next payday, which should be coming up here hopefully tomorrow, I think. So that'll be good too. But lots of good things happening in the group. I see a lot of new people commenting, asking questions, posting things, reposting things, which is good. We all need that. I like it. It definitely helps me. So pulling those clips, I think, will be a big help. And I would appreciate the help if anybody has the time or the energy to help with that. And then whatever you don't get to, I'll try to get to. But I'm trying to remember the topics, the most voted upon topics for the next call. So hopefully the next call will be next Friday, the first Friday of February 2020. That is the goal. That is the plan. 2-hour show, hopefully. And we'll see what topics win. I think what's going to win is the where the blood was tested. What wasn't tested. I remember there were two of them up there. One Lisa put up there. I think that one is winning. So if you would like to be a part of that call, any group member can be a part of that call. Just let me know. Send me a message on Facebook, or send me an email to my Gmail account, mbstalkradio@gmail.com, and I will send you the information live conference call on YouTube. Most likely next week, 6 p.m. Pacific time, USA time. So, I was looking on Lulu.com and I did not see, it looks like there's only 2 regions, and it looks like Mexico and the USA. So maybe the book is not available on Lulu.com worldwide. So that's another reason why I want to get it out to Barnes and Nobles and to Amazon, because Amazon I think is worldwide, and it's going to syndicate out everywhere. But I'm paying $70 for a worldwide distribution package. What else? I guess the Audible book too. Still working on that. Going to see what happens with my 911 book. We'll see how that whole Audible.com experience goes, and based on that. But I know one of our members, our new members, has volunteered to do some voiceovers, reading from the book, and so Christian Coffins is going to take those and use those in his docu-series, which I think is great. I think it's a great idea. So I'm really looking forward to, I mean, that's a huge project, because it's not just one film. He might think it's going to be one film, but I think he realized that, and that's why it's not a documentary, just a standalone documentary, but a docu-series. So curious to see how that goes. Let me talk a little bit about the podcast, the future podcast coming up soon, to coincide with the book. And what we're going to do is basically we're going to read the book together, and we'll stop if people have comments, questions, or concerns, give some commentary on it, and we'll keep going until the book is done. The podcast will be 60-minute shows. These will be pre-recorded shows in typical podcast format. So we'll have a lot of pre-recorded things, a lot of snippets, stuff like that we can insert into the podcast. So I'm asking people and anyone in the group, if you want to record yourself a little audio snippet giving your views on the case, then send it to mbstalkradio@gmail.com, and we might use it. We might use it and play it in the actual podcast, and we'll see what happens with that podcast. Through Anchor.fm, it looks like you can do sponsors, and you can create a nice big reach. So we'll see how all of that goes. But the hardest part for me is going to be structure, because I'm very bad with structure. I like the free-form style, but if we're going to do the podcast, then we got to do that right. And so it has to be structured. It's got to be a template, some type of a template to it. And then, I don't know, at some point, those podcasts will go back onto YouTube. And the purpose of it all is, I was looking at all of the videos and everything that I've done on this case, trying to find like the closest thing where if somebody was new, what they could watch to kind of get caught up. And I don't really see anything that I have. So because of that, I think in order to go forward, we're going to take a couple steps back, and we're going to go through this book, and I think that's going to lay down the basics of the case. And then, of course, based on that, once that's done, I don't know what we'll do. We'll have to figure that one out too, where to go from there. Once we've gone through everything that we could possibly have gone through in the book, then I don't know. We'll go from there. But still toying with the idea of a part 2 to the book, which I don't know. It doesn't really look like it's gonna happen. It's just very choppy. There's not really. Maybe just like a research book or something like that, like an extras. But there is a lot of stuff that I still have, and I want to do something with it. So I don't know, maybe we'll add that to the list. But there's a lot of things that were swabbed, that were collected, that did not get tested in the house, and things with blood. You know, it's kind of weird that on the living room couch that there's no blood there. That's kind of weird. Or no blood is mentioned. I don't know, maybe there was blood and they just never swabbed it, never mentioned it. That's it. So, and you have the lights, the string of Christmas lights behind that couch that looks like it kind of fell down underneath the couch. Who knows where that was supposed to be? That could have been, you know, maybe they were going to hang that on the top of the wall, of that living room wall. I don't know. Maybe it was meant to be to go around the that sectional couch. So again, it brings back the question of was the couch moved, which I think is a very valid question. Was the couch moved, and then somebody wrote Allahu Akbar on the blood wall? I guess it's possible. So another question came up the other day in the group, and I mean, just some really good topics, some really good conversations, some really good posts in the group, and it came back up again about if they had faked their own deaths, if David Crowley and his family had actually faked their deaths. And I mean, that stuff does happen, but I mean, you got to be really dumb to fake your own death, you know, unless you're part, and even if you are part of some deep state program or part of some program, they're going to burn you at some point, and you're going to die or rot in some jail cell. Most likely they'll just kill you once they're all done with you. You know, your program is done, you terminate the program and anybody associated with that program. So never fall into that crap. I mean, I'm open to it. I'm definitely open to that. But there's a lot of things that would have to happen. It would help explain the cover-up, and it would help explain the silence of a lot of people. But again, if you do that, you're gonna turn up somewhere, you're gonna pop up somewhere, something's gonna happen, unless you're in Cuba with Tupac or something. So I think that might be about it. Yeah, just working on some other stuff too, but not necessarily related to the David Crowley case. But just really needed a week or a couple weeks off. I think this will be 2 weeks now that we haven't done a show. We've been pretty good about doing a live YouTube show about once every week. So, but you know, the break is good. I really needed it. Didn't realize how much I needed it until I stopped, you know, looking at the book, stopped editing, and stopped just focusing on it. And it's like, okay, it felt really good. It felt really nice. You know, this is five years, and I think I always knew at some point, even subconsciously, hopefully, I always knew that I was gonna try to write a book at some point. And the feedback on the book that I'm getting so far is really good. So I haven't, you know, really gotten any negative feedback, and I wouldn't care if I did either. I wouldn't focus on that. But I did the best that I possibly could with the documents and with the evidence, with all the facts, and with the commentaries, with the quotes. Tried to put in as much of that as possible. You know, I would have liked to have focused more on the contract, David Crowley's contract. It would definitely be nice to focus more on, you know, David Crowley's work and what he was writing and all of that stuff. So the whole Hollywood thing, I guess, it'd be nice to focus more on that. The stuff about the private investigator got taken out, so maybe at some point that will make it back in. Mason Hendricks, I did 2 interviews with him. We talked on the phone at least twice, and I asked him a bunch of questions, and he went through a bunch of stuff. And so all of those notes, all of that stuff, most of it was taken out, just because it's just like he said, she said, and it's like, how many times can I say that the guy is wrong, you know? I think I put that in there enough times for people to realize he's full of crap. You know? I don't know what his deal is, but he's definitely not telling us the real story, and then the stories change and all that. So I didn't want that to be the focus. It's not meant to be a negative book, or just a book like this person lied, and I didn't want it to be like that, you know, like a tabloid type book. It really needed to be focused on those documents, because that is the most important. All the other stuff is a distraction to distract us away from him. So it's great. We gained more members. So I think we're at 2,870 right now, members. That's great. You know, only 130 more and we'll be at 3,000. So we'll see how that goes. Still waiting on the last piece of information from Jim Gummer. At some point I wouldn't mind actually sitting down with Jim Gummer and talking with him face to face. I think that would be great if I can make that happen. I don't know. It's not like it's a long flight or anything like that, but we'll see. And we'll see if he's willing to actually do it. So that will be the last piece of information that I'm going to reach out to Jim Gummer on. And it is about the bullet hole in the living room ceiling that they say was there on January 17th when the bodies were found. And all we're asking for is just some type of proof, just a photo. In the police reports, there is mention, I believe it's Detective Brian Bone. It's either Brian Bone or Tommy Booth. One of them mentions that they did go back through the photos and they found an image of that showed that there was a bullet hole in the living room ceiling on January 17th. So obviously that shows that they did not see it on January 17th. No one can claim that they saw it on January 17th. It just can't happen. You know, it would blow their whole case open. Would that be newfound evidence or lack of evidence if they go through all of this and they say, oh, wait a minute, nope, we don't have a photo that shows a bullet hole on January 17th. I'm waiting. I'll wait patiently. I just want to see that bullet hole on January 17th so we can get all this cleared up. I think that'll be very valuable, very powerful thing at this point, and it will get rid of a lot of the speculation, which we need to try to steer clear from. Everybody has theories, everybody has views on the case, but if we're gonna help people try to understand it, you know, we can't tell them that we have it all figured out, because we don't. I don't think anybody does. Not even the investigators, the family, friends, definitely not. So anyways, that's the deal for now. I'm gonna sign off here and hope everybody has a great week, great weekend. Enjoy your weekend, and I will converse with all of you soon here again. In the group, I'll drop the once the worldwide distribution for the book is set, ready to go, I'll make sure that I pass those links out. But it's a free download. You can go to thegraystage.wordpress.com right now, and you can just download it for free. All right, everyone. Have a great day. God bless you all. Talk to you soon.